Today is World Cancer Day, and while a new United Nations report shows cancer is still the #1 cause of death worldwide, one local cancer survivor says it isn't the death sentence it once was.
Surviving cancer is just one thing that can be added to an impressive list of achievements for Davy Greenlees.
As a child, I was diagnosed with aplastic anemia, which is a blood form, a leukemia, basically. And I spent probably a year of my life in Children's Hospital in Vancouver, and was quite a trial, and back then most things were quite experimental.
A year in a hospital bed is at the heart of Davy's story, even having to learn to walk again. According to the United Nations, roughly 8.2 million people died of cancer globally in 2012 alone.
I think it's shocking to all of us. You know, it's a tragic number, and it's one that is particularly prevalent in the developing countries because that number is continuing to rise. We're fortunate that we're in a westernized nation where we have good screening programs and more emphasis on health promotion and cancer prevention.
On a global scale, the incidence of cancer is expected to increase by 75% over the next 2 decades. The 4 most commonly diagnosed forms of cancer in North America continue to be prostate cancer, breast cancer, lung cancer, and colorectal cancer. In fact, there are more than 200 different forms of the disease, but there are things to stave off the risks.
Specifically, we're talking about people being able to do something about it themselves. Oftentimes there is a myth that there's nothing I can do, and indeed the #1 thing you can do is to eliminate tobacco if that's a part of your life, particularly with lung cancer numbers so high.
Davy suffered through cancer in the 80s and says a diagnosis today isn't necessarily the death sentence it used to be, but he learned an invaluable lesson through his struggle.
I guess myself, I think it's given me more of a willpower to make sure that things get done, and every day is kind of a gift. So keep moving on and take control and be in charge of what you want to happen, and not just wait for it to come to you.
Not surprisingly, Davy is heavily involved with the Canadian Cancer Society's annual Relay for Life and firmly believes that by giving a little bit will lead to a cure. Cheryl Jan, CKPG News.